Hello, my name is Laura Haight. I have been brought into your company to create and oversee an organizational development department. I have a successful background in organizational development and change management consulting. I've been asked to come in today to talk with you all about an organizational development initiative within your company and how it can truly benefit the company as well as the employees. All of the things I'm going to discuss today will improve your organization and contribute to increased performance, job satisfaction, as well as productivity. So today we're going to talk about how to approach organizational development within your company, how organizational change can benefit your company. We're going to talk a little bit about the strategic organizational development plan that I'm going to put into place, how that plan can contribute to your organization and contribute to increased performance, job satisfaction, and productivity, and how to implement the changes within the company. So we'll begin by going over how to develop organizational development within your company. So let's talk a little bit about what organizational development is. It is the theory and practice of planned systematic change in the attitudes, beliefs, and values of employees through creation and reinforcement of long-term training programs. It is action-oriented. It starts with a careful organization. We need to take a look at a wide analysis of the current situation and figure the future requirements, and employ techniques of behavioral sciences such as behavior modeling, sensitivity training, and transactional analysis. The objective is to enable the organization in adapting better to the fast-changing external environment of new market regulations and technologies. So there are 4 functions of management that we're going to talk about. These 4 functions are definitely functions that we should be implementing in our organization. The first is planning. Planning is based on need and includes defining and setting clear goals, establishing a strategy to successfully complete the goals, and developing plans in an organized way in order to coordinate activities. As good managers, we will strategize and recognize appropriate goals to be planned. Organizing involves providing good direction, figuring out what tasks need to be accomplished, and identifying appropriate roles to ensure that the proper people will be assigned to those tasks. We have to figure out how the tasks should be grouped, who will be accountable to report to whom, and where decisions are to be made. Then, of course, there is leading or directing, which includes motivation, inspiration, direction, and encouragement. All these things are done in order for an organization to achieve its goals. Communication competence and conflict resolution are also needed to lead and direct people. And then there's controlling, which involves monitoring progress, comparing current goals with previous goals, and correcting any necessary issues in order for an organization to stay on track. All of these things are done in an effort to maintain control and progress within an organization. Each of these functions should build off of one another. If they're all done properly, organizational success will be achieved. While I believe that all the functions prove to be very important, I think we should especially focus on the leading or directing area. Without an effective leader, people may not listen and they may not follow. In my experience, good leading will encourage people to be productive and take action. People need motivation and direction in order to perform effectively and reach their goals. A good leader will motivate and inspire an organization to achieve business objectives as well as goals. We work in a very diverse society and must be cautious of people's sensitivity, feelings, and needs. There are certain strategies we can implement in order to be fair and successful in managing a diverse team. Diversity management makes everyone more aware of and sensitive to the needs and differences of others. Management will need to take a diversity program to see what's all involved in a diverse culture. Learn the legalities of equal opportunity employment. Understand how a diverse workflow will successfully serve a diverse market of people. And also learn how different perspectives, skills, and abilities of a group will assist in better performance. So how organizational change can be a great benefit to your company? I want to touch on an area that I think is very important, which is called emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is something that is critical in any business or any organization. It involves our ability to understand, express, and control our own emotions, as well as the ability to perceive, control, and evaluate the emotions of others. There are 3 traits that are involved in emotional intelligence. One being self-awareness, so being aware of what you are feeling. Another being self-management, which is the ability to manage one's own emotions and impulses. And then there's social skills, which is the ability to handle or detect the emotions of others. It's important for us all to know what we're feeling, what our emotions mean, and how our emotions can affect others. I think it's imperative for managers, leaders, and employees to have emotion regulation. Managing one's own emotions in order to remain calm, cool, and collected is critical. Using social skills to detect the emotions of others through their body language or eye contact, even their facial expressions, is important to be ready for any possible negativity that may come along. By telling a person with negativity that you can relate to them and you may know how they feel, you can hopefully spin some negative opinions into positive ones. Then people may be more apt to start thinking in a more positive or different way. There's a gentleman by the name of Don Crowley. He's a well-known master in the art of customer service and communication, and he states that people can affect our own emotions in a negative way, and emotions are contagious, which is so true. The good news is that emotional intelligence can be taught and can be learned. So employees should understand what it is, apply it, and we need to continually learn to improve it. There are steps that we as leaders can take to improve the emotional intelligence of our employees. First of all, we have to introduce this to them. Some people may be unfamiliar or have never heard of what this type of intelligence even is. We have to explain the need for it and the effectiveness of it and how it will help the organization or the company. We have to encourage employees to develop self-awareness and evaluate their emotions as they face different types of situations. And we must explain that they must learn how to control their own emotions, and that in turn will help them control, hopefully, the emotions of others. Organizational leaders must first strengthen their own emotional intelligence in order to pass it along to employees. So it's imperative that we utilize this type of intelligence to then show our own employees the effectiveness of it. Leading by example is an excellent way to teach this. A leader can teach employees by influencing their emotions, remaining calm, and relating to them. Employees should then pick up on these traits and will look up to us and follow us as leaders. This in turn makes everyone successful. So what does this all tell us? It tells us that emotional intelligence is critical in a work environment and should be introduced and taught within the organization. Higher EQ leaders are more likely to make better decisions, engage and influence more effectively, and create the right mood for the job. So the Strategic Organizational Development Plan. We have to begin by creating a culture. A culture creates distinctions between organizations. It conveys a sense of identity for an organization and facilitates commitment to something larger than just individual self-interest. We want to implement a transformational culture structure. We will begin by keeping in mind that it may be important to continue the style that is already in place while the transformation is in process. Creating and sharing a vision of the direction the company will be headed is an important step. If employees don't buy into and support the vision, changing the culture will prove to be extremely difficult. The strategy will be to use leadership tools. So managers must be role models. have open conversations, create a vision, and persuade employees that the change will be beneficial for all. By doing this, we can implement the change with management tools, such as defining roles, employee training, creating opportunity for incentives and promotions. Communication is key, so enlightening employees as to why we're confident the change should happen will be important. The key is for employees to embrace the change. It would be a good idea to hold an open forum so that employees could voice any concerns and it allow them to give input and ideas about the change. We must continuously motivate the employees, be supportive, and collaborate with them. We must be good mentors, good role models, and leaders, and also be inspiring. We must show that we are committed to the change and will actively participate in it to make it happen. We have to learn the strengths and weaknesses of the individuals working for the company. That way we can give individuals tasks that will then enhance their performance. Enhancing employees' strengths and working to improve their weaknesses will help in the success of the culture change. And lastly, we have to create trust. Creating trust is imperative. Dr. Kotter, a leadership guru of 30 years, has proven research that his 8-step process for leading change will help organizations succeed. I am suggesting we implement these 8 steps into our organizational change. Number 1 is to create a sense of urgency. We will help employees feel a gut-level determination to work hard and to win. Number 2, create the guiding coalition. We will put together a group with enough power to lead the change. This group will have expertise and credibility. Number 3, developing a change vision. We will clarify how the future will be different from the past. Number 4, communicating the vision for the buy-in. We will see that as many employees as possible understand and accept the vision. We will make the vision so that it will be simple, vivid, and invitational. Number 5, empowering broad-based action. We will remove as many barriers as possible and unleash people to do their absolute best work. Number 6, generating a short-term win. We will create visible, unambiguous success as soon as possible. Number 7, we won't let up. We will consolidate gains and produce more change. The consequences of letting up can be dangerous. Whenever you let up before a job is done, critical momentum can be lost and regression may soon follow. So the new behaviors and practices must be driven into the culture to ensure long-term success. So by this step, there will be a consistent show of proof that the new way is working, and employees should be empowered at all levels to lead all types of different projects. Lastly, we're going to make it stick. This new approach will be anchored in the culture and change will be sustained. So how this plan will improve the organization and contribute to increased performance, job satisfaction, and productivity. Creating a transformational culture can be quite beneficial. Transformational leadership requires a balance of skills, knowledge, leadership, and charisma. It's a style that can be both positive and effective. It is one that works hard to influence and motivate followers without force. Transformational leadership creates and promotes ideas and how to execute them. These types of leaders work to transform and change things, not just maintain them. Not only will this type of leader challenge and encourage their team, they work to inspire people. And these types of leaders are trusted by their teams. A transformational leader is an important type of leader when managing a diverse group in a global market. Here you can see there are many characteristics that make up what a transformational leader is, such as enthusiastic, encouraging, creative, charismatic, and much more. So how are we going to implement the change within the company? It will be important for us to connect with the employees and explain what our experiences are. We need to explain our passion for our work as well as our passion for the teamwork approach. We need to encourage the team's freedom to be creative and share thoughts and ideas of their own. It'll be good to explain that you realize that they're used to having a strict amount of structure and probably have had to go to their superiors for constant direction and approval. But at this point, we will trust that they're capable of making certain decisions and they don't necessarily feel, that they need to be micromanaged all the time. Being the team is used to receiving specific direction, I would ease them in by explaining to them the exact flexibility they are to be given within certain tasks. This may make them feel more comfortable in the transition, knowing that they're still receiving some instruction, but yet they can still follow direction. It'll be important to let them know that we as management also want to hear from them, so they should be open to sharing their expertise as well as their fresh new ideas. We want to encourage employees to get out of their comfort zone in order to grow professionally, as change can prove to be beneficial for us all. Offering an extrinsic reward, such as a monetary bonus for doing a job well done, may get the team motivated to be more independent and also self-reliant. I can't stress enough that in order for all this to work smoothly and effectively, we must be good leaders. A manager or a leader with good social skills can interact well with others, can effectively communicate, and give praise when it's well deserved. If a leader can practice these types of social skills, they can better relate, work well, and be successful with others. Today we've discussed how organizational change can benefit your company. We've discussed a good 8-step plan to implement and how that plan will increase performance, job satisfaction, and productivity. We have to remember it takes the majority of the organization to truly embrace the new culture for there to be any chance of success in the long term. I am suggesting that we transform this organization into a transformational culture. We're going to do this by implementing the diversity management training. We're going to use and teach emotional intelligence, and we're going to use that 8-step process for leading change. This will prove to be beneficial not only for the organization, but also for the employees. By being good leaders and implementing this transformational change, this organization will have success. Thank you for your time and have a great afternoon.